Hello, I'm Dr. Mark, and this is your pet tip of the month. Summer is among us, and we need to think about a couple of things with our pets. The big thing right now is heat. Our temperatures are rising, humidity is pretty high in the area, and we need to make sure that we do a couple of things to keep our little dogs and cats, our pets, healthy and keep them cool in the summertime. So, first of all, I'd like to talk about what you would look for in a heat stroke or a dog or cat that gets overheated. A lot of times what they're going to do is they're going to pant really hard. They're going to be trying to move air in and out of their lungs. That is how dogs and cats cool themselves, is by breathing. And so with them moving the air, they're going to start panting when they get hot. They'll have an increased heart rate. And sometimes if it gets bad enough, they'll start vomiting, diarrhea, and collapse. And so those are some of the things. That's it. When it gets worse, you want to catch it early. Make sure that there's a couple of things you want to do. Make sure there's plenty of water. If you take these guys on a walk them at night or early in the morning. Don't do it in the middle of the day. And when you get back, make sure you put them in front of a fan if they've got a little bit too hot to keep them cool. Bring them inside. The outside dogs that stay strictly outside, we need to get those guys some shade under a tree. Maybe build them a patio type roof where they can get under, but they need to have some shade, and then plenty of water. They can get dehydrated really fast being out in the sun, and so make sure that they have plenty of access to water to keep themselves hydrated. When you build your shelter, if you're going to build a shelter for them outside, make sure that there's some airflow through that. You don't want the air to be, you don't want the walls so that there's no airflow for these guys. Other things you want to worry about, if it gets to the point where they have a heat stroke and their temperature gets elevated, some things you want to do at home, definitely immediately call your veterinarian and get over to a veterinarian as quick as you can. But things you can do at home while trying to get to the veterinarian. One is give them a cool bath. Not ice, not warm water, just a nice cool bath. That's going to be the best. You don't want to cool them too fast, but you do want to get them cooled down. Get a couple of fans, start blowing fans over the top of them to help dissipate some heat. And then also you can get some alcohol, spray it on their foot pads, in their armpit or axillary regions, and in their flank area. That will pull the heat out of these guys, and that'll help them cool off a lot faster. Things you worry about with your pets if they get too hot. One is if they've stayed hot for a while, a prolonged period of time, their organs start to have some problems, and that's where these guys need to get to a veterinarian really fast. They can get really, really sick from a heat stroke, and it's definitely something that you don't want to mess around with. You really want to get these guys into a veterinarian where they can get proper care, get cooled off, and hopefully keep them from having any secondary problems with that. Other areas, other than just outside, if you go to the store and you have your pet with you, do not leave it in the car with the windows rolled up. If you can, don't leave it in the car at all. Cars are just a heat box for if the sun is shining on them, and we definitely don't want to keep them in there, especially for lengthy periods of time, and make sure they don't get hot. If you do, same thing, just kind of get these guys to a veterinarian and keep them as cool as you can till you get there. If there's any outside dogs, bring them in. That would be the best thing during this time. If you can't, then build the shelters like I talked about. The summer is here and there's a lot of heat out there, and so we just got to do some things to keep these guys cool. Y'all have a good day.